From hell's heart I stab at thee. Guys, welcome back to the range with the sun's out, guns out, and please bear with the sound of gunfire in the background. Today we have a High Point C9. In a recent video I was reviewing a CF 380, and now I've got the 9mm version, so we're going to check that out today. I just noticed, ow, already we have a problem because that rear sight is way over to the left and shouldn't be. Don't laugh. For all I know, you know what? Somebody sighted this in with his carry ammo, and that's what he had to do to get it sighted in, but I doubt that's the case. I think that sucker's just loose in there or it's been bumped. I don't know. But we're going to find out. May have to do some adjustment on that. But we're going to see how this thing performs and let you know. Oh, but before I forget, our channel now has a sponsor. Can Do ammo cans. These are made of some kind of metal. They have a handle. They got another handle. They got a latch. They have a gasket that's made of, I think that's some kind of paper. But they've got a gasket. They seal up. Can Do ammo cans. These are the best ammo cans that I've ever tried.
Is that an ammo can?
Nope, it's a Can Do. All right, back to our program. So guys, much like the CF 380, we got a thumb safety, cover up the red, it's safe. Expose the red, it'll fire. We are on a live fire range, so it's fine. Conventional mag release. Again, we have this plastic frame, but with grip panels, plastic grip panels that are screwed on. And our slide construction is some kind of metal. I've heard some people say this is cast iron. I've heard some people say it's some kind of zinc. I'm more inclined to think it's like a zinc alloy. Have a barrel that's pinned to the frame, simple blowback operation. We do have adjustable sights. Unfortunately, these have been adjusted all crazy like. And I believe this is an 8-round. Yeah, it's an 8-round magazine. Single stack mag. These typically have a magazine safety. And this one does. And we can talk about that in a minute. But very similar to the 380, it is a simple, inexpensive, one might say crude firearm. But generally these do work well, and as a budget option, these can be okay. Okay. We've got these Phillips head screws that hold on the grip panels, and Phillips head screws on almost any kind of firearm are a little bit unusual. Got a little tab that fits in the bottom, or a couple of tabs. Sort of pops out this way. And that is our magazine safety. Now it's very important when you disassemble this. You can see that the grip panel covers some of these moving parts, trigger bar and so on. And this part in particular is the magazine safety. So if you take this out, replace the grip panel, if you forget to put that back in, your magazine safety won't work anymore. The gun will fire without a magazine in it. So make sure this goes back in before you reassemble the pistol. For ammo today, we're using our familiar Russian mystery ammo, steel case, green lacquer. I'm running out of it. I'm probably going to shoot the last of it today. But you'll notice that cartridge is sort of nose-diving in the magazine. I noticed when I loaded these, they wanted to do that. I would give that a little tap or a little jiggle until they sit up properly, sit up at the top. Otherwise, you're probably going to get some misfeeds. Oh, okay, when I tried to load the magazine, that is loaded in the pistol, a couple of these rounds just popped out. That's not good. I'm going to say this magazine is defective. Let's see how defective. And I fully anticipate that this thing is going to shoot way over to the left. Go look at the target. Here are my two impacts, and as I suspected, they are way over to the left of point of aim. Point of aim is there in the center of the target. So, yeah, we're going to have to adjust these sights. Okay, I don't actually have a mallet. I don't have any kind of tool that's suitable for adjusting this side. I managed to get it nudged over a little bit. I was shooting from about 14 yards. I'm gonna close to about half that distance so I can at least shoot some kind of group that we can see on the paper. But I cannot, with the tools I have right here, make much of a meaningful adjustment to these sights. I would say this is about 7 yards. Let's go have a look. All right, at about 7 yards, we've got 6 impacts. That group is okay. It's not great, but it's okay. Completely acceptable, especially for a cheap pistol. Elevation is okay. Might want to come up one click on that. But obviously windage is the problem. But we appear to have a reliable pistol, although, well, those rounds did pop out. I would probably go ahead and replace this magazine. I can't, it looks like the feed lips might be bent, especially on the left there a little bit, but it's hard to tell. I would say probably get another magazine for it. But the trigger's okay, I mean, for a high point. It's kind of heavy and spongy. But obviously accuracy is acceptable. In shooting this one, I can tell it does kick more than the 380, but not much more. It is much louder than the 380, so if noise is a big concern, maybe the 380 would be an okay choice. I talked about that before, the fact that I would just pick 9mm over 380, but 380 may fill some niche in these pistols. But yeah, we've got a gun that's simple, reliable, prints decent groups. And it's got these bold, very visible sights. I like that. This particular one just needs to be sighted in. Other than that, it's good to go. Okay, guys, so I'm not going to repeat all the things I've said about high point before. For the most part, these are simple, they're crude, but they do work. If this is all you can afford, you'll be okay. It's fine. If you can afford something better, get something better. And once again, you know, I wouldn't say that about everything. If you've got, and Glock is my go-to example, it's not the only pistol I like. If you've got a Glock and you can afford something better, should you buy something better? Well, no, not necessarily, because Glock is about as good a pistol as really is material for most people. We can find a more accurate pistol, but is it accuracy you can actually use or that you need? We can find a pistol that's got a better trigger or better ergonomics or whatever, but ultimately, Glock pistols tend to do everything that we would tend to require of a pistol, especially a defensive pistol. And no matter how much money you spend, you're probably not going to find anything that does that job materially better than a Glock. Not in any way that matters. However, a Glock or a Beretta or whatever is materially better than this. So if you can afford the better pistol, absolutely. But if your budget is very tight, this is really okay. This will get you by. Anything cheaper than this probably won't get you by, but this is okay. So I'm not going to harp on about high point. We've established this one seems to work just fine. It does have that one problem with the sights, which we could correct with some tools. Not a big deal. It's simple. It's reliable. Guys, if you're on a budget, look at one of these. If you're not on a budget, maybe don't look at one of these. Keep your powder dry.